The PS4 is entering its discount era, and I believe now is the perfect time to pull the trigger and grab one, and I'm going to tell you why, but first, some context. I've been reflecting on modern gaming, and one line has really been resonating with me. We don't need better graphics, we need better games. Seeing the price hikes on 9th gen consoles this year got me thinking again about how disappointed I've been with the modern gaming landscape. And maybe it's just me, but this whole era just feels flat. Too bloated with greed that overshadows creativity. We get beautiful trailers.
I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
That lead to broken promises and half-baked launches. We've been seeing this for years. And when over half the top 20 PS5 games are actually PS4 titles, and the PS5's been out for 5 years now, I mean, at this rate, you may as well just buy a PS4. Actually, wait a minute. That's not such a bad idea. It's also the whole topic of this video. What a great setup, 10 out of 10. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. The PlayStation 4 may just be the new value king for 4 main reasons. We'll go through those in just a moment, and the further I looked into it, the more it became clear. This dusty, 12-year-old jet engine of a console just makes way too much sense right now, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's go. Much like the Xbox 360 video I did recently, the number one reason to get a PS4 in 2025 is the same, and that's the price. In today's challenging economic climate, money can be tight. Housing costs, utilities, food, it's all gone up. So Sony decided they deserve more of your money too. Contrast that with the PS4 base model, which you can grab with a controller and a couple of games and be up and running for around $80 US. That's the price of a single modern game, and the value proposition is clear. I opted for the PS4 Pro model, as I think the higher resolution output is worth it when every TV being sold is 4K resolution, and that set me back $120 for the console, the controller, and a couple of games. Now that's 50% more than the base model, sure, but have you seen the cost of the PS5 Pro? We're edging closer to $1,000 for a console. Sony's ruthless, man.
Keep that change, you filthy animal.
Now, if you've already got the base console, you can probably just sit on it. I mean, not literally, you'll break it, but my opinion is that the Pro is where it's at for the best experience. And it's not just the console prices. We're gonna need some games. And the PS4 has so many games under $20, there's tons even under $10. Even the same games have a huge difference in price between the PS4 and PS5 versions. And when you sum all of this up, you can have a full library of games on a PS4 Pro console for less than the price of the PS5 console itself, even used. And we should really talk about those games, because the PS4's game library absolutely slaughters current-gen consoles. Sure, over a decade of releases will do that, but even compared against its contemporaries, the PS4 has one of the best selection of games ever. If I may be so bold, the PS4 is the second best PlayStation of all time, behind only the PlayStation 2, which is arguably the greatest console ever. That's tough competition. It's hard to get an exact number, but with well over 3,000 official titles, it doesn't really matter what kind of games you're into. You're gonna find them here, some of which are exclusive to PS4, and almost all of them at the lowest possible price you can find on a console. And JRPG fans like myself are eating particularly good here, and many of the games you might have considered for a Nintendo Switch are available at a drastically lower price here. Most of the best current generation games are playable on 8th gen consoles. There's so much overlap, in fact, that I'd almost venture to call the PS5 a PS4 Pro Plus instead. And many of those games are remakes of 6th to 8th gen games to begin with. While the PS4 is definitely being phased out for new releases, when a lot of those new releases are unfinished live service slop, I think it's probably worth the trade-off for a lifetime's worth of incredible games on a console that is just entering its discount era. And you know, maybe it's not the latest and greatest, but for a 12-year-old machine, the PS4 Pro still looks pretty damn good. The visuals here are aging better than most Gen Z Instagram models. I mean, imagine using a 12-year-old computer, a 12-year-old phone. They're basically archaeological relics at this point. And I mean, it's no secret that graphics plateaued in the 7th generation. I mean, just to illustrate my point, this is an Xbox 360 game. If graphics plateaued in the 7th generation, they've damn near flatlined between the 8th and 9th generation. I mean, can you tell which one is PS4 and which is PS5? I mean, probably, but it's close enough that I bet I fooled a few of you out there by switching the labels. They're pretty similar and way closer graphically than they are in price. Remember what a generational leap used to get you? We used to go from 2D to 3D, from pixel art to polygons to attempts at photorealism. Games look and play great on all versions of the PS4, but they're particularly good on the PS4 Pro, which I do recommend over the base console. Is it as good as PS5? No, but the games are actually fun and plentiful, and that's more valuable to me than a little bump in resolution and detail. If I made a top 10 list of my favorite games of all time, all 10 of those games would be older titles with somewhat dated graphics, I can guarantee you. The PS4 is also still online and fully functional for multiplayer content in most games, and it should be for a while. But importantly, this is the last console generation where it doesn't need to be plugged in to function. While some small handful of games may need an initial internet connection for a day one patch, updates, or DLC to be fully functional, the vast majority of single-player offline gameplay can be accessed directly from the disc as God intended. Always online functionality and digital-only releases were way less common here than they are nowadays, and when I'm thinking long-term for my collecting, that really matters to me. Call me old school, that's fine, but I want to hold my games in my hand when possible, and know that I can put the disc in and play my game without reliance on a server that may or may not still be available down the road. That said, I do think it's a cool bonus here that if you wish to engage with online multiplayer content, it's still available and relatively populated here. Now, of course, I've been trying to pump up the PS4 as best I can here, but I do think there's some things that you should consider before you invest your money in one. Unlike older consoles like the Xbox 360, the PS4 is not a console where you can just pop in the disc and play. The 8th generation introduced us to the modern era of having to pre-install assets from the disc for nearly all games. And while you don't need internet for that, it does take a while and that sucks. And it also means that you now have to manage your console's storage space if you end up with a big library of games. Also, that storage space is on a spinning hard drive, which means it's not particularly fast, and it tends to be less reliable than its solid-state counterpart. You can, optionally, install an SSD in a PS4 console, and it does speed things up a bit. Just know that if you choose to do this, you will not be getting the full speed benefit of an SSD due to the limited bandwidth of the PS4 SATA port. It's worth doing still though for better load times and likely better long-term reliability should you wish to go that route. I think it's also worth noting that while it is still online, how much longer things are up for purchasing, downloading, and multiplayer remains a question mark. Don't expect it to last forever is all I'm saying, and it may be worth some extra consideration if multiplayer gameplay is your primary goal, as the future of game servers is uncertain, and it's often up to the developer hosting them on when to pull the plug. Last point, and we already touched on this, but AAA games won't be released here anymore, and the number of new titles hitting the PS4 will be dropping off sharply moving forward. PS4 owners had been blessed with big-name titles still seeing an optimized 8th gen release for over a decade, but I think we're now seeing that those days are finally over as of the last year or two, and you shouldn't be buying into one thinking that it's a viable platform for future releases as the PS4 heads into the sunset. The 8th generation may be the last truly great generation of games. With ballooning development costs and corporate overreach, every game carries much more risk for the companies developing them. Gotta make those shareholders happy, right? So they'll just release the same game all over again, instead of taking a chance on a new IP. The days of consoles having tons of quirky, fun, creative new ideas and games may be behind us. And while it did begin fading during the PS4's lifespan, you can still recapture the magic of a huge library of surprisingly modern and innovative titles by scooping up a PS4. The presentation is impressive, the games library is legendary, and if you want a killer gaming experience and you love a good value like I do, look no further. And maybe check out this similar video I made about the Xbox 360, I think you'll really like it. Throw me a comment down below if you like this one, I'd love to hear your feedback. Hitting the like and hype buttons definitely helps out as well. And if you like this kind of thing, consider subscribing. I appreciate you sticking around if you made it this far. Stay tuned for more like this soon, and thanks for stopping by.